What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, y'all, we are going over, I'm matchmaking the UFC White House card and who do I think should be on this White House card. But before we get any further into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys have seen the content like this, and also turn on notifications if you guys want to know when I upload my videos. But now, let's get into the video. So there's early prelims, and main cards. And I'm first going to start off with, not the main cards, the prelims. We got first, the first prelim of the night. You guys might think, what? But I'm going with Cam Raton versus Bo Nickel. You guys are like, why? If you guys are wondering why, it's not just because they both fought Cody Brundage. It's because their styles of fighting are good. Cam Raton is kind of like a kickboxer type style. Bo Nickel is like almost the same. These guys both know how to wrestle pretty well. I think this will be a perfect matchup for each fighter. Bo Nickel's only loss is to Reinier de Ridder. And that was also another interesting fight. I think this fight will be just as interesting as how Reinier de Ridder and Bo Nickel was. And just looking at this might be a 50-50 fight. And I would love the UFC to add this to the White House card. You guys are like, but why to the White House card? Dude, do you guys not know how, I want to say how much how much people will watch it. If you guys not know how good of that would start off the card. For the early prelims, guys, I'm starting off with good prospects that deserve to be on the card. I think Cam Raton and Bo Nickel both deserve to be on this card, and I think they should make this fight. Now, let's move up to the heavyweight division. I'm going with Tyson Torreira and Josh Hokett. I said in one of my previous videos, after I had my review for UFC 324, I had said Josh Hokett should fight the winner of Tai Tuivasa and Tyson Torreira. Tyson Torreira won by unanimous decision. These guys should fight the White House card. Because think about it. Do you guys know how good of a fight this would be at the White House card? Somebody's getting knocked out in this fight, and it's not obvious for each fighter to win. It's 50-50. And this will be a freaking banger of a fight. You guys, like I said, both got 100% knockout rate. Even though Tyson Torreira had that win over Tai Tuivasa by unanimous decision, he still has 100% because it's only one win by decision. And so does Josh Hokett. They're good at grappling, and they're good at striking and knocking you out. That's why this fight will make the most sense. And people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be dying to see this fight, guys. They'll be dying to see this fight. They'll be like, there's no way that this fight is going to distance. We gotta see this fight. Because people like those fights like that. When they know those fights are going to distance, there was so much hype to those fights. That's why I feel like this fight makes the most sense. Now, let's move on to the bantamweight division. We got Farid Basharat and Jaka Willicks. And if you guys don't know who I'm actually talking about, the names right up here. Just letting you guys know that. Jaka Willicks coming off a win over, I forgot his name. His name was like Gainoff, something like that. But but in the last second he submitted him. But the referee didn't know that he submitted him. Thought it went distance, so they checked the instant replay and they saw that he tapped before the bell rang. So he won. And before that, had a close fight with Patchy Mix, where I thought he lost that fight. I'm gonna be honest. I thought he lost that fight. And Farid Basharat, he came off that win, which was a really close fight. It was so brutal. They kicked his brother out, which was really stupid. But before that, I think his biggest win was against Chris Gortieres. Because Chris Gortieres has some experience with some of the best with some top fighters. This fight will be amazing. These guys got both really good striking, and their wrestling is amazing. Farid Basharat, he has really good wrestling. That's where he started off with. You see how his striking got better. It's kind of like with Ilie Topuria. Ilie wasn't the best striker, and then over time, his striking got better. That's what happened with Farid. His striking got really better, and you can definitely see that in his last fight and his fight with Chris Gortieres. Now, let's move on to the lightweight division. This is the featured early prelim. I'm going to go ahead and start with Jalen Turner and Quillen Southgate. And if you guys don't know exactly what I'm talking about, the name's right up here as well. You guys, this will be a banger of a fight because Quillen, he has 2 really good wins against Jamie Morarsky and Nashrat with that head kick. Imagine beating Jalen Turner and adding him to his list. That would be a banger for him. It really would. And I think this will be an absolute war. Jalen Turner's a really good fighter. He has some experience with kickboxers like Dan Hooker. And I guess you could say, Edson Barboza, he just came out of retirement to fight Edson Barboza and won the first round. This will be an absolute war. Everyone, I feel like a lot of people who are really big fans of the UFC would love to see that fight, guys. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys. These feature prelims aren't the biggest names, but you guys know who these fighters are. You would know how good of the fights they were. Now, let's move on to the prelims. For the first fight, we're going off with prospects that are ranked. Peyton Talbot and Raul Rosas Jr. If Raul Rosas Jr. beats Rob Font, if he doesn't beat Rob Font, then I would have Rob Font and Peyton Talbot. But for now, we're going with Peyton Talbot and Raul Rosas Jr. 2 of the best prospects in the division. And they both had lost their O. Raul Rosas Jr. lost his O to Christian Rodriguez. Peyton Talbot lost his O to Ronnie. I forgot exactly what his last name was, but Ronnie. And they were both old fighters that they underestimated. This fight will be good. But I'm gonna say this is a little tricky for Raul because Peyton Talbot seems to get his wrestling better. If you guys saw in his last fight with Henry Cejudo, I think this will be a good fight. Would I say it will be the best fight of the prelims? No. We're gonna get through more big names throughout the card. And just letting you guys know, the main cards are all going to be championship fights. I think they should do 6 championship fights. But now, let's keep going over. Next up, we're going to the featherweight division. Yes, I said it, the featherweight division. We got Aljamain Sterling and Yusuf Zalal. I think this fight will be really good for the White House card. If they don't schedule it before then, I'll probably switch someone else. But for now, I think this fight will make the most sense for the White House card. Yusuf Zalal and Aljamain Sterling. There's been talks a lot about this fight, and I think this fight will match the White House card. Yusuf Zalal, he's coming off 2 really good wins against Calvin Kattar and Josh Emmett. And Aljamain Sterling also fought Calvin Kattar and beat him, and just came off a win against Brian Ortega. And for Aljamain Sterling's 4th fight in the featherweight division, I think it will be really good. He already fought at UFC 300. I think it makes sense to add him for the UFC White House card just because of how good of a name, just because of his name and what he did in the bantamweight division. So this is what they should do. Yusuf Zalal and Aljamain Sterling. Let's move on. Moving up. We're going up to the welterweight division. We got Michael Morales and Joaquin Buckley. I have said this in one of my videos where I have matched up the welterweight division. I have said they should make that fight. I think this will make the most sense for the White House card. You got 2 really good strikers, and you got 2 pretty good wrestlers. This fight will be an absolute war. If 3 rounds, it'll be 3 rounds. Shoot, we're about to be seeing 3 rounds of war, bro. Because if it was 5 rounds, they might be a little more technical, but who knows? There might still be a war, but they won't get as tired as much as they would if it was a 5-round fight. I would like to see this as a 3-round fight. Some people might like seeing it as a 5-round fight, but I want to see this as a 3-round fight because I want to see how long this fight would last for 3 rounds. But that's what I think they should make in the welterweight division. Now, we're going to stay in, I don't know exactly what weight class it's going to be in. It's either going to be the welterweight or the lightweight. But Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. And you guys are like, for a prelim, guys. They added big names. They added big names to prelims for UFC 300. So you guys can't even be complaining. The third one. This fight will be amazing. Their first fight was really good until Conor McGregor just went for that takedown, which was really stupid, but that's all he really had to do because he was going to get knocked out either way. And then that second fight was war. Was just pure war. But I don't know this fight would necessarily happen. It's because it's like they're going to have to negotiate with Nate Diaz. Because I feel like Nate Diaz, because even Dana White said it, it's hard to make matchups. Because when they said, here, we want to give you a matchup, he'd be like, give me Francis Ngannou. I feel like it's really hard to make fights with Nate Diaz. So this will determine if this fight will happen or not. But I would definitely love to see this fight at the White House card. Now moving up to our featured prelim. Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen. I had also said this in my review for the UFC 324. This fight should happen at the White House card. Well, I don't know if I specifically said it should happen at the White House card, but I specifically said this fight should happen. Everyone's been wanting to see it, but they couldn't make the fight. They couldn't make the fight because of the pay-per-views. Now since there's no more pay-per-views, they can make the fight. And I would love to see this fight at the White House card, and this will definitely be a lot of hype. And for the feature prelim, it's not a bad feature prelim. This is really a good feature prelim. But now, let's move on to the main cards. I had said 6 title fights. For the first one, we got to start off Valentina Shevchenko and Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva deserves a title shot. She's already beaten 3 former world champions, even though I thought she lost to Rosa Namajunas. But I feel like the reason why she won was because Rosa, I feel like she's getting a little, she's getting a little scared because she's punching them, moving out the way. This isn't boxing. This is UFC. This is the UFC. You can't just be doing that. And I feel like that's why the judges gave it to Natalia Silva. But do I think she's beating Valentina Shevchenko? Valentina Shevchenko's gonna dog walk her, bro. I'm telling you. If Rosa couldn't, Valentina will dog walk Natalia Silva. I just think Natalia Silva just deserves the title shot. And for those of you who are saying Natalia will dog walk Valentina Shevchenko, you're wrong. You gotta be wrong for that, bro. Because people forget how I feel like people underestimate Valentina Shevchenko. I feel like after she got submitted from Alexa Grasso, that's when people started to underestimate her a little bit. I mean, she's on a 3-win winning streak right now. To Alexa Grasso, Maran Florat, and Zhang Wali. Those are 2 pretty good wins. And she was the underdog for the Florat fight. I don't think Natalia has a chance against her. Valentina Shevchenko has fought everybody for a very long time since she was in the UFC. So I don't see Natalia Silva beating her, but I think it'll be the perfect matchup for both fighters. Now, moving up in the heavyweight division, we got out the championship fight, Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira. Since Tom Aspinall got cut from the UFC, apparently they're trying to have Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira fight for the title. I would love to see that. At heavyweight, for sure. If Alex Pereira wins that fight, then Alex Pereira will be the first 3-time division UFC World Champion in the history of the UFC. So that would be spectacular for Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira definitely will have a really big name on his resume for that fight. That's a tough fight. They're both really good kickboxers, but it's gonna be tough to say. But definitely for sure, Alex is gonna have to vacate the light heavyweight belt. Now moving on to the light heavyweight division, Jerry Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg. If Alex Pereira's planning on moving up to heavyweight and vacating the belt, have Jerry Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg fight for the belt. If you got the winner of that, will be the world champion, and those 2 both deserve the title shots. Jerry's coming off a win, knocking out Khalil Rountree Jr. and Carlos Ulberg is coming off a win after knocking out Dominic Reyes in the first round. I think this matchup they're both good kickboxers, but I think this matchup will determine who's actually going to be the world champion. If Jerry wins this one, he's going to be a 2-time light heavyweight world champion. If Carlos Uller wins, that means he's going to be the light heavyweight world champion for the first time. But now, let's move on to the women's bantamweight division. Kayla Anderson and Amanda Nunes. They were supposed to fight you for UFC 324. That fight didn't end up happening, so let's schedule it for the White House card then. If we couldn't schedule it for then, let's schedule it for the White House card. I will be glad to see that fight. I was upset when the fight got canceled. I thought that was going to be the best fight of the night. But it got canceled. Now I think they should add it for the White House card, which I'm guaranteed they probably are. But now let's move on to the co-main event and the main event. Here's why. So Ilya is planning on moving up to the welterweight division instead of fighting Gaethje. If he might have to vacate the belt. So if that's the case, Gaethje and Max Holloway. Well, not Max Holloway. Gaethje should fight the winner of Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira if Ilya moves up. If Ilya does it, then Ilya and Gaethje. But if he does, co-main event should be Gaethje and the winner of Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. But now for the main event. Like I said, if Poirier doesn't move up and vacate the belt, the best fight would be Islam Makhachev and Ian Gary. Ian deserves that title shot. He proved a line now below Muhammad fight. I don't care if people say Michael Morales. I don't care. Ian deserves that title shot way more than anybody. Ian should get the title shot. But now, that is going to be the end of the video, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys like seeing the content like this. Turn on notifications. But for now, I'm out. Bye.